Hi there. In a previous YouTube film I showed you how to make a twiddling stick, which is what we use to make a pike trace, which is a twisting system rather than a crimping system. And today I'm going to show you how to use this to make yourself a basic pike trace. So the components you're going to need to do this are a lighter or a match, your 7-strand wire, which I use AFW surf strand, which is a great product. You're going to need your 2 treble hooks. Obviously I've got 2 size 6s. You need a swivel, 2 sleeves, which you can buy. Fox sell them and all sorts of people sell them, Greys sell them. And also you need an intermediate sleeve for the intermediate hook on the trace, but that will all be explained as we go along. So first of all, I cut off wire, which I've already done, about 2 foot long, and you take your first hook. I'll try and do this over the paper so you can see clearly, but you take the wire and you thread it through the eye of the hook and then back on itself, so it goes through the eye and back, so it looks like that. And then with the loop you've created, take the hook and pull it back through the loop like so, and then you pull the wire up tight, keeping your fingers and thumbs up against the eye of the hook. Pull the wire up tight, nice and tight like that. So you basically end up with a tag of wire that sticks out by about 1 inch. I'll just trim a bit off because that's a little bit long. Let's just trim that bit off. Then you take your lighter and you need to warm that 1 inch tag till it sort of glows orange. So just run it up and down the wire, slowly up and down. You can see it start to glow orange. And once it's done that, you take your twiddling stick and put it onto one of the bends of the hook. Now this is the tricky bit. You need to take the tag of the wire between your finger and thumb, as well as holding the other piece of wire, and you need to bend the trace, the wire, away from the main piece, sort of 90 degrees like that, and then you pull with the twiddling stick on the hook and twist at the same time. And as you do that, it draws that 1 inch piece of heated wire back across the other piece like so, and then you end up with a twisted wire. Perfect. Take one of your sleeves and then you need to feed the wire through the sleeve. Not everybody uses these, but I do. Down the wire, over the twisted piece of wire against the hook, and then you feed it over the top of the treble hook. And that's your first part of the component made. Now you've got to put on the intermediate hook. So you take your middle hook, put the wire through the eye. So the wire goes through the eye. So you've now got your hook hanging, running freely up and down that piece of wire, your second hook. Now the spacing of these varies, people do it differently. I allow about 3.5 inches, and I know the back of my finger, from the top of my finger to the back of my nail, is the correct distance. So I always set it out on my finger like that. That's the right distance for me, for most of the dead baits I use. So you pinch the wire, you're holding the hook against the wire so it's not going to go anywhere. Take the loose end, hold it down the shank and pinch that against the hook so nothing moves. You can let go of the other hand, it's held in place. Take the longer piece of wire above, the top piece of wire above the hook, take it down the length, so fold it back down the length of that hook, between the treble hooks at the bottom, pull it up tight. Then you need to wind that wire round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, round and round. So you're pinching, you've gone down the hook, back up, round and round and round, and then you feed that, keeping it all nice and tight and held neatly back through the eye of the hook like so. Pull it up nice and tight. You can use the twiddling stick to do that. Pull it up nice and tight. So now that has actually held that hook in place. That's not going to go anywhere. That has positioned your middle hook on the trace. I then take the intermediate hook sleeve. You've got to get the wire through like so, feed it down, and I push that over the top. Keeps everything nice and neat and tidy over the top of the twisted wire. Push it right onto the hook like so. So it covers the eye of the hook and all nice and neat. So that's the second part done. Now to put the swivel on is exactly the same as the putting the first hook on, but in reverse. So you need to put the second sleeve on first. Put it on narrow point first. So feed the wire up through the narrow end and get it in there. Yeah, there she goes. Right. Feed that on. You take your swivel. So you go through the eye of the swivel with the wire, and then back on itself, and back through the same eye, leaving yourself a loop one side and a short tag the other. Take the swivel like you did with the first hook, back through. Let me get that bit of wire out of the way. Take the swivel back through the loop that you've created, and then pull the wire up nice and tight. Looks fiddly, but when you've done it loads and loads of times it gets easier and easier. Pull that up nice and tight so the wire is nice and tight against the back of the hook. You shouldn't have much left, but you just trim it back to about an inch, which is what I do there. Just trim that off to an inch. You're going to heat that tag. So get it to glow orange again. Run the flame up and down. Glowing orange. Now with the swivel, obviously, you're going to put your twiddling stick on the swivel to twist it and twist that wire again. You don't want to put it on the end eye, because if you twist the swivel just goes round and round. You need to put that twiddling stick into the eye of the swivel where the wire goes through. Well, in you go. Oh, can't get it in at the moment. The wire's in the way. Right, there you go, it's in. So you've now got to twist that tag end around. So again, bend it 90 degrees using your finger and thumb, bend it 90 degrees away from the main wire, and then pulling back on the swivel and twisting at the same time, you draw that 1 inch tag of wire back through between your fingers, and whilst you're doing it and twisting, you're twisting it round and round the main length of wire. There you go, an absolutely lovely neat twisted wire there. Beautiful, it's not going anywhere. Slide your sleeve back up. This is where you find out if you put it on the right way or the wrong way, which is why I said you've got to put the narrow end on the wire first, because you need the fat end to come up and go over the swivel. Then bring it up. It is fiddly, but you've got to get that up over the swivel like so. Just draw it up and over. Everything's nice and neat, everything's nice and covered, so you're not going to snag yourself up and get caught on the bits of wire. There you go, and that is one perfectly made pike trace. It ends up being about 20-22 inches long by the time you cut off the bits and pieces each end, which is ideal for pike trace. You don't want it any less. People say 18 inches, but I reckon you need a bit longer really. There you go, hope that helps. Thanks for watching.